You know, if I had a nickel for every single time I covered a V-Synth song that was cat-related today, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. I literally just got finished recording the Schrodinger's cat reaction, which for a lot of people probably won't be going public for about a month now, but I just got that one covered, and I'm like, okay, let me do another song, and then this popped up, and I'm like, I should get to that. So here we are with another Flavor Foley song. I'm so excited to hear more Flavor Foley every single time. It's a banger. Is it always better than the last one? No, but it's always pretty close. So I guess without further ado, let's go.
Downtown, one more round. I wanna
Whoa, this is a different style.
I wanna beam out all the pain, so make it hurt. I wanna beat out all the shame. Cut deep.
All right.
Back, come leave a scratch and dig the claws into my neck until I'm spent. I lick the blood off of my teeth. I prime my cane, that's how I like him, baby, just like me. How scared, so curious, so careless with her life.
This sounds so good.
The glow of headlights echo off her eyes.
The tuning on this is so good.
Scared, so curious, so careless with her life. Deny, but what's the loss to die? Satisfaction adorns and thrives through her next stage life. To fall into
Ooh, ooh,
to fall into the glow.
ooh.
Embrace. It fits me like a glove. It fits me like the stars above. To be exactly only me. The things that I was always meant to be. All falling
That reminds me of Static a little bit.
to a life retraced. No love.
Yeah, it's a little Static.
Into this love. Passion burning light up like a flame. The joy of feeling pain. Of knowing that there's more to gain. To be
I wonder if that's on purpose. Maybe.
things that I was always meant to be. To cherish all the cuts and fall into this reckless life. I fear it won't be long till the time calls. And when I go, I wanna know that it was worth it all. So let me get my hopes up. Cause if it hurts, I know
God.
it's worth it to be someone.
This is such a unique sound for everything that they've put out. This is
Was worth it all.
really different
Close until I'm broke.
musically, thematically.
It must have been a girl. House cat, a reckless little thing she'll never learn. Street side, the blinding headlights halo of her fur. House cat, a reckless little thing, it's all a blur. Unwise, but what's the loss to learn? Dead on sight, thriving under life, both are real to her.
I just, it's such a different sound. I really can't get past that.
Fits me like the stars above. To be exactly only me. The things that I was always meant to be. All falling into place. I fall into a life retrace. No love to fall into this love. The pretty love simply screaming till it hurts. The joy
It's weird that I'm at a loss for words right now.
of words to speak.
That's usually not something that I have a problem with.
Can't tell my voice is cracking at the seams. To cherish all the cuts and fall into this reckless life. La la I cherish all the cuts and fall into this reckless love.
Guess in a way that kind of staticky sort of break is also very reminiscent of a fill that Jamie throws into everything, like Machine Love. It's in there, the da 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 da. It's just something that they throw in all the time. But like this, this, I'm gonna have to take some time to like find out what I want to say, because there's words in there, but they're struggling to find my mouth. So usually I would use this time to break down what I think that the story of the song is and like how the lyrics make sense, the music and everything involved. But this comment by Obento Magnum writes everything exactly as I would be saying. So I'm just going to read off this comment and let you guys know what they said, because it's exactly what I'm thinking. This gives me the impression of someone who's lived a very sheltered and controlled life, being called a house cat and with all the rule signs and warnings and such, finally reaching a point where she realizes she needs to break free from it and live her true life. Even though she ends up getting hurt because she doesn't really seem to know how to live life the same way everyone around her does, because she was never allowed to learn, like a house cat trying to survive in the wild, perhaps even seeking out these negative real-life experiences because she was denied even the chance to make mistakes for so long, and at last they feel real. I think this is probably the best way to phrase all of this, and it's a really good, very well-written comment there. I feel like that is the message. That's what I was basically going to be saying, but far less well-written, frankly, because it would be coming off the top of my head. But it makes all the sense in the world. This character just finally feeling that freedom and wanting to do something with that, and the song kind of reflecting that. This process that the song is going through, it's changing. It has a different sound from basically everything else we've heard on this album so far, and all of this sound quality to it is so unique because it's different. It's a new experience. So the music is kind of reflecting that. When we get to the point of the chorus where everything kind of has that more familiar feel, that's because there's that understanding of like the process in their brain going, aha, I get it. And suddenly it's familiar to us, the listeners. So like that makes sense too. I have no clue if that's actually intentional, but it would make sense. This is very different, and why I was struggling so hard trying to find words, because it's not bad. This, if I may, probably my least favorite of the Flavor Foley stuff they've released from this section of music so far, stuff from Static forward. I don't think that this is bad, by any means. That would be a lie beyond lies. I do think that this is a very good song, very well constructed. It's just so different from the sounds I've come to expect that it did kind of surprise me, and probably the first song I think that has legitimately surprised me as far as the direction it took and the why after Static, at least, because that was like the first holy shit, this is different sort of approach. This one is the next, where I'm like, oh, so all their other songs have surprised me in different ways, but it still sounded like Flavor Foley. This, aside from that pattern that Jamie throws into everything, sounded like somebody else. You know, like this is the most unique sound they've had to date within that Static and Forward section of releases. So there have been a few definitely that sound very different before that, like Water the Roses, still one of my favorite songs that they've put out. That is peak. I love that song so much. It is definitely one of their most like generally unique songs. This one is up there though as far as that unique quality, and I love that. I love that they're not afraid to do this. And of course they aren't. It's multiple people. They are going to have different opinions on the approach. And every single time they arrange something, somebody else is going to have a little bit more influence than the other person. It's never going to be like a full split down the middle of the trio in any way, shape, or form. It's not going to be a perfect third process. Everyone is going to have a little bit of something else added to a different song. And that's what makes each one so unique. But this one, again, is probably the most unique tone. And I really do wonder if the purpose of that was kind of what I said earlier about it being a part of that unique experience for the character and for the writing. That is something that every musician does at some point. They write a song, they have a narrative in mind, and they write to that feeling. That's the point of a narrative and why songs tell stories. You need that to be reflected musically and lyrically, and everything involved needs to make sense in that regard. This song, though, as strange as it is, it does make a lot of sense. And that's why I'm like, this isn't a bad song. It's just probably not my favorite of their releases because the qualities of the other songs are so fucking good to me that this one is somewhere more like lulling in the center middle where I'm like, yeah, how do I feel about it? I still need to hear some more music from them. And there's still going to be plenty beyond this, I assume. I think there's maybe one more song in this like planned release group that they have, again, Static Forward, that they're going to be doing, and I don't know what that next one's going to sound like, but that's what makes it so intriguing and what makes it so like, ooh, I got to come back and hear what else is coming of this project. It starts to make me wonder what the specific goal of this release is, other than maybe just telling one overarching story or different aspects of the creative process. Because we've had that with Static, we've had that with Ego Renegade Boy, we've had that now maybe with streetcat. And that's what's strange, is because I think that there is an identity crisis happening. And that's not saying that the identity crisis is Flavor Foley. It's every song is talking about an identity crisis. That's kind of the thematic constant of all these songs. And this is another one, and why I think that Paragraph is so apt for the vibe of this song. We had that with Static, we had that with Ego Renegade Boy, but it's all a different quality and a different perspective on what the creative process does, or what the personality process does, the ever-changing flow of life, and how that process is so hard to pin down and figure out. I mean, this is pretty much a consistent feeling with all of Flavor Foley's music. Again, going back to like Water the Roses, that talking about a relationship and moving on from that, that is a huge cocoon into a butterfly moment. And all of their songs have kind of touched on that in some degree. And a lot of that is because the musicians involved here love making songs in that theme. So why not keep doing it, but like sharing these ideas and changing concepts around a little bit more, getting a little bit more like laser focused on specific ideas. And again, maybe the reason that this song sounds the way it does, having this new different sound, while sure, maybe not being my favorite personally, does make sense for that narrative, having something that is so unique to this song, because the entire world would be unique to a house cat, and becoming a street cat is a completely different process. You could also look at that in the inverse. What if they were a street cat coming into a home? And that's still new. That's still confusing. That's still a completely different world from where they came from. Just instead of going from a more confined, familiar space to a very broad, crazy outdoor space, going from a broad, crazy, there are no rules outdoor space to there are rules indoors, and now I have to follow them and figure out what that means, and trying to navigate that is a completely different, but at the same time, same sort of process that all of these other songs have gone through. Where can you get away with things, but also you're struggling with what that means to you as an individual? That's what makes these so cool. That's why I love Flavor Foley. We love Flavor Foley. And that's why I think so many people love Flavor Foley, because it's familiar. It's something we can all self-insert to. We've all had these struggles, maybe not exactly the same way that they're presented in each song, but we've had some moment where we've had that feeling, you know? I mean, just growing up, going from a teenager to an adult, you have that like 4 times past the age of 10, you know? Like from the age of 10 to the age of 30, which I am, I've had this moment happen at least 5 times. There will be multiple times you think you're ready for something new, you think you're so mature, and then something else happens. Something else kicks you in the ass, and you realize, oh shit, the world isn't exactly what I thought it was. Here's an entire new experience. I'm still experiencing those. I mean, that's just my lived experience. Everyone's going to be a little bit different, but that's why these songs are so relatable to so many people, because every single time there's another character being reflected in these songs, it's a slightly different point of life that everyone, again, is going to be experiencing in a slightly different way. And it just makes it more and more intriguing to listen to. So again, while this song might not be personally my favorite one of all of their releases so far, that definitely doesn't mean it's a bad one. It's just good, and it tells its story in a different way, and that's what makes it so artistically valuable. So another fucking banger, just in a way I personally did not expect. So I think I am done yapping now. It has been a while, almost 20 minutes of me yapping. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to cut out, because I'm sure I yapped on for a long time about random crap that didn't matter, but maybe I'll include it anyway. We'll see. But thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed these videos and you want me to get to something else from Flavor Foley, that will be happening, of course, in time. I love listening to these songs. I will be getting to basically their whole discography. I actually do have slight plans to like do my own grading system of all these songs and just kind of going about it that way, like ranking them in some way, shape, or form, in all formats and all factors, like the music quality, the lyrical quality, what all of it makes, like as a whole, maybe. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far, but I plan to do that someday. So if you want to see that, then you know how to follow me and support me and all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!